Today I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup on this look and also reflecting on 2023 and discussing what my resolutions are going to be for 2020. I have never used this in a video, and I bought this back, I think earlier this year, like in the summer. And I only used it a few times back then because I felt like at the time it was a little too light for me or something like that. So I wanted to try this again and see how I felt about it. But this is the It Your Skin But Better CC Nude Glow. And mine is in the shade Fair. And I did prime my face and moisturize and all that stuff before I started to film this video. So, I mean, I guess I could apply this with my hands, but I think I'm going to apply this with my makeup sponge. I'm just like such a makeup sponge person. But so my New Year's resolutions for this past year of 2023, I had to look back because I did post it on my Instagram stories, but I looked back to see what they were, and I put to continue to prioritize my health and wellness, listen and follow my intuition more, spend more time with people in my life that value me and my friendship, and learn to be more in my feminine energy. Continue to prioritize my health and wellness. I mean, I feel like for myself, that's always in the forefront of my mind. Like, I'm the type of person that likes to try to be as healthy as I can and, you know, try to eat well, get my steps in, and exercise. I mean, looking back at this year, I wouldn't say that I was unhealthy, but I feel like I definitely could have done a better job in certain areas of my health. Like I told you guys in my Q&A Get Ready With Me, lifting weights went by the wayside this year. But I do know that when I first started this year, I wanted to take a huge break from weightlifting. But midway through the year, like after I was laid off from my job, I wanted to get back into weightlifting, but I just always would start and either be like really sore, or like the first time that I tried to get back into weightlifting, I pulled a muscle in my lower back. And so I basically gave myself a huge break because I didn't want to really injure myself, and that needed to heal. And I'm going to be using my Maybelline Super Stay Activewear Concealer. I've been loving this concealer. Sometimes I just struggle with being consistent with eating healthy and being consistent with eating 3 meals, each day. Sometimes I just get lazy or, whatever might happen. So I do feel like I could have improved that. Overall, I did a good job with continuing to prioritize my health, but there's just little nuances that I could have improved on and focused on and done a little better. But, that's life. It's there's always things that we could improve and do better. Okay, so listen and follow my intuition more. I do feel pretty successful with this one. I really tried to listen to how I felt about things. Like, if I was really triggered by something, like if somebody triggered me, or if a situation triggered me, I really tried to reflect on that and think why did that trigger me, and then sort of work through those feelings and emotions that I had going on. I mean, I know that one is a little airy fairy, it's hard to really pinpoint if you did a really good job with listening to your intuition, but I feel like I did. So I feel like I was successful with that resolution. And then for my setting powder, I'm just going to be using my L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Powder. Spend more time with people in my life that value me and my friendship. So I definitely feel like I was very successful with that this year, and that kind of shifted and changed throughout the year. So as you guys know, I was laid off from my job at the end of July. And I feel like when that first happened, it was everybody that I worked with, it's like, oh, we're still going to stay in contact with each other. Like, this isn't going to like affect our friendship or whatever. But it's like, as time has went on, it's like some people I'm just not as close to as I was when I worked with them, you know. And I've kind of learned, like, some people I felt like I was continually reaching out to, messaging, and I just felt like things weren't really reciprocated back to me. So I eventually had to just get to a place where I told myself, like, because I would just drive myself insane, like thinking, like, why is this person not messaging me back? Like, did I do something wrong? Like, I was just spending too much mental energy on that, which I know that everybody has their own life. Everybody is busy. And so I shouldn't take things so personally. But for me, have to have like an equal friendship where I feel like as much as I'm putting into it, I feel like my friends have to be putting in the same amount of effort. And if things are like a little bit off balance like that, it feels a little bit toxic for me. So whether that person, you know, was doing things intentionally or not, just for my own mental health, I had to get to a place where it was like, well, you know, I've already messaged them. I'm not going to keep messaging them. The ball's in their court. So if they want to hang out with me, if they want to talk to me, they can message me. So it's like, in that whole thing, you kind of learn like who your true friends are after a big life-changing event, like getting laid off. Like, you learn who your close friends are and who, you know, aren't so close to you. So that was quite a life altering experience for me and that was definitely the hardest thing with my whole layoff. But I do feel like instead of focusing on the people that weren't being there for me, I doubled down on the people that were and really just reached out to them a lot more. So that's kind of how I got myself through all of that. So I do feel like I accomplished that New Year's resolution, which, I mean, you always want to try to spend as much time as you can with your loved ones that, you know, are there for you and value your friendship. I'm just going to get some of this excess powder off of my brows and also off my lips. I'm just going to go ahead and moisturize my lips with my Fresh Sugar Watermelon Hydrating Lip Balm. And then before I do my eyebrows or like my eyes, I'm going to go ahead and prime my eyelids so that this can be drying. And I'm just using my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm like trying to work through this and use it up. For my brows today, I'm going to be using my e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel and my Milani Brow Fix Brow Kit, like the dark powder in that little kit. And then my last one, learn to be more in my feminine energy. I definitely feel like I was very successful with this one. And it's just crazy because it was like the more I got into my feminine energy, it was just like the more things kind of shifted and changed in my life. So I will leave some video links down below if you're kind of like, what exactly is feminine energy? I'll leave that down below. But I mean, I feel like that whole subject was really popular or became really popular this year. But yeah, I mean, I felt like I was just being really like stressed out and just trying to be too much in control at the beginning of the year. So that was part of the reason why I wanted to. And while that brow gel is drying, I'm going to go in with my bronzer and I'm just going to use my Milani Silky Matte. But I just felt like I needed to just go more with the flow, be a little bit more easygoing and lighthearted, and, you know, not be like so uptight about everything. Learn how to just be like more in touch, like with my feelings and what I want for my life. You just like that whole thing. So that was the whole reason why I wanted to get like more in touch with my feminine energy, which also kind of tied into like me being more in tune like with my intuition. So, I mean, those types of things, just like hanging out with friends, it's always like something that I'm striving to work on and work towards. And yeah. So, I mean, especially after I got laid off from my job, I felt like that really put me in my feminine energy because I really was just like going with the flow, and I literally had like no control over like what was happening with that. Like the only thing that I had control over was just like how I was handling things. And, I had to learn to just like allow myself to feel the sadness of that and to grieve the loss of that. And I felt like, I mean, I did grieve, but I felt like I was trying to be really positive during that time. And maybe it kind of slowed my grieving process down a little bit. But I don't know, maybe not. Maybe it was just going to take me like 3.5 months to really grieve that whole process. But I am super, super grateful for my layoff. And I mean, it just led me back to YouTube. Like, honestly, if I hadn't got laid off, I would not be making videos right now. Just because back when I worked at my job, even though I did enjoy what I did, I was a senior photo editor. It was really stressful for some of the companies that like we edited their images for. Like, they were just, some of them were really difficult to work with and would just have you do things at the last minute. And it was just really stressful. I mean, towards the end of me working at my job, I was getting to a place where it was like, I can only do what I can do, and what I can't do, like, it's just not going to get done. And if my manager or, the people above her get upset about it, like, then they just get upset. Like, I'm not going to sacrifice my happiness, my well-being to like satisfy like some corporate person. Like, I just, like, life is too short for that. So yeah, I was super, super grateful in the end to be laid off. I mean, you guys know that I got a severance because I had mentioned that before. So that really helped. Josh, I have Josh's support, which if it was not for Josh supporting me, there's no way I could do YouTube full time, which I don't know that I've really mentioned that much in my videos, but I talked with Josh about it, and we made the decision that he's, going to support me while I do YouTube full time. I mean, I do make a little bit of an income on, my YouTube videos, but it's nothing where I could make a living off of it at this point. So, yeah. And I just feel so blessed to have this opportunity, and I'm so blessed that I have you guys here to support me, and that you guys were so excited for me to come back and start filming content for you guys. Like, that just meant so much to me, to know that I had YouTube to fall back on, and that you guys were going to be right there with me, rooting for me. Like, it was such an amazing feeling, and I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys, and I love you all so much. I'm so glad that you guys have stuck with me over the years. If you're new to my channel, like, I feel like the same with you, even though you're new. Okay, I guess before I do my blush, I'm going to go ahead and do my eye makeup. I was looking through my collection trying to figure out what do I want to use that I haven't used in a while. And the Urban Decay Naked Honey, like, I have not used this in forever. And I'm like, since I'm wearing yellow today, let's use this palette. First, I'm going to go in with this color Swarm, and I'm going to put that in my crease. Well, actually, let's go in with the color Sweet, which is the shade right here. And I'm going to put that in my crease. But yeah, so I feel like my biggest takeaways from this year was to let go of the things that I do not have control over. learn that most of the things that are triggering you, like the people that are triggering you, like it has nothing to do with you. Like if somebody like gets upset at you, or I mean, sure, if somebody gets upset at you, it could be like something that you did, but I'm trying to think of like a good example of what I'm trying to say. I guess it's like if, you know, you're just at work, like doing your thing, and maybe you're not talking to somebody very much, but you don't mean like anything by it. It's like somebody could take that the wrong way, and then maybe they like blow up on you because you haven't been talking to them. And then you feel bad about it, but like honestly, like you are not like responsible for their feelings. And it's like, while you can be like empathetic, and after they said that to you, be like, oh my gosh, like I haven't really spoken with you. I'm so sorry. Like, you know, I'll try to make a better effort. But I just had to learn that I am not responsible for other people's feelings towards me at like things I'm not doing intentionally to them. I just have issues with wanting to be a people pleaser in general. I think a lot of women struggle with that just because women are taught to, you know, be nice and pleasant and that whole thing. So yeah, I really struggle with that. So I had to kind of learn not to be nice to people, but to just learn that you are not responsible for people's feelings. I go in with the shade here, and I'm using my Sigma E45. And I'm just going to lightly blend that in the crease. I think ooh, gosh, that had a lot of fallout there. I must have had a lot of shadow on that brush, not tapped it off. We'll try this again. But yeah, so that was one of the lessons. Another lesson was just to learn to validate yourself and not to rely on other people's like approval to do something or not, or to feel like happy or accomplished in what you're doing. Like you don't need somebody to validate your feelings on that. Like you have to learn to validate yourself. So that was a lesson that I had learned. And then, you know, with the whole layoff, like just learning to go with the flow more and let go of relationships that aren't really serving you, or, you know, just like sort of living in the gray. Like maybe people that aren't really talking to you right now, it's not because they don't want to, but like their lives are busy now. You're at different points in your life, and you know, you just have to kind of like let things be and let things go. On the lid, I'm going to use this shade Honey. This shade definitely, if you're not careful, can have some fallout. It's kind of just more of like an eyeshadow topper in a way. Yeah, that shade definitely had some fallout. I feel like this is one of those palettes that it's probably best to do your shadow before your makeup. That color is super pretty though. This Honey shade. I think I'm going to go in with some of Sting. Shade right here. Got that on my Sigma E45, and I'm going to blend that in the crease some more. And I'm going to take a little bit of that like on the lower lash line. I feel like I'm going to have to go back with some concealer and clean up underneath my eyes, because like, man, I did not remember this palette having this much fallout in the past. Okay, and I'm just going back with my blending brush, nothing added to it, just kind of blend around the edges. Okay, I don't know how well this is going to work, but I want to try to clean up this fallout underneath it here. I'm taking a little bit more of Sting on my Sigma Pencil E30, and I'm just going to smudge that here on the lower lash line. And then I'm going to take some of Flyby and put that on my brow bone and in my inner corner. But I'm taking some of Sting on my Sigma E25 blending, and I'm just going to lightly blend this in the outer V. It's like, I'll get back to my resolutions here in a minute. It's just like, it takes focus to do some of this eye work. Just wanted to deepen this out here. Then for the waterline, I'm just going to use this Urban Decay Gold liner in Gold Mine. And then I'm just going to do a slight wing out here with my Physicians Formula Eye Booster pen in the shade Deep Brown. I went a shade a little bit darker to smoke out my wing here. So I just got my Wet n Wild Color Icon palette in Walking on Eggshells, and I'm going to use that dark brown shade. And I'm just going to smoke this out. For my blush, I'm going to use this Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush in Shimmering Rose, which I feel like I have not really used this in any of my videos, or if I have, maybe like in one. Such a pretty pink. So my resolutions for this year of 2024, going into 2024, so I have decided that I want to give up alcohol in 2024, not because I'm an alcoholic or anything like that, but just because every time I drink, or at least most times that I drink, I just don't feel very good the next day. And it's one of those things where you feel good in the moment and you're having fun, but later, you know, you just don't feel as well. You don't have as much energy. It just kind of slows you down. And then besides that, it's just extra calories, and not to mention it is horrible on your health. Like, I think that was kind of my turning point this year. So harmful substances, they have different levels of carcinogens. And I did not realize that alcohol is like a level 1 carcinogen. And I did not realize that. And like level 1 carcinogens, like smoking or things that can cause cancer. And I didn't realize that alcohol was right up there with smoking. I don't know. I guess I just thought, because, you know, I feel like our society really touts alcohol as like a health thing. Like if you drink red wine, that it's healthy and you're getting antioxidants. Not to say that you're not getting a little bit of health benefits, but the negatives probably outweigh any benefits that you would get with actually drinking alcohol. And I don't know what it is about our society that just make it so like glorified. But I just decided, after I realized like how unhealthy it is and how it makes me feel, that I'm just going to cut it out of my diet this year. I know that that might be a bit of a challenge to just completely give it up. One of my other resolutions for 2024 is I want to read through the Bible again this year. Well, not this year, but next year. So that's on my list. I want to be really consistent with meditating. I'm just going to go back with a little bit more bronzer. I just want to be really consistent with meditating every day and gratitude journaling, because I do journal a lot of the times, but it's mostly just to get like rid of stress in my life, which, I mean, I still think that that is very beneficial, but I want to do more gratitude journaling because I think it would be really beneficial for me. So with the health goals this year, I got a little bit more specific. So the giving up alcohol is one of the health goals. I put on here to strength train Monday through Friday and to eat 3 nourishing balanced meals daily, and also to increase my daily steps. So I know that this is a lot of resolutions. I'm just going to go ahead and mist my face before I do my mascara and my lips. And I'm going to go ahead and take this headband out of my hair since we're done with like the face makeup. It's like the only thing about this It Cosmetics CC Nude Glow is it feels like a heavy sunscreen on my face. and I don't really like that feeling. I feel like it looks nice and natural, but yeah, I'm not into how it's making my face feel. It's probably why I didn't really like wearing it in the summertime, because it just probably felt really greasy on my face. As I was saying, I know that that's a lot of New Year's resolutions to have, but I feel like a lot of them kind of tie into each other, like the strength training and me increasing my daily steps, and also like eating balanced meals, not drinking alcohol. Like those are kind of all of like my health goals for next year. And then I guess more of like my spiritual and like emotional goals is the meditating, gratitude journaling, and reading through the Bible in 1 year. I'm gonna actually use my Maybelline Lash Sensational in black, like blackest black today. I've just really kind of been getting back into my black mascara again, because I've been doing like more intense eye looks recently. But yeah, I mean, I know that everybody has different ways that they approach the new year, but I just like having several different goals to kind of work towards and reach. And while I might not like be successful at reaching all of them, like I definitely try. And it just gives me like motivation for the next year. So Superstay matte inks are not new, but this color is new to my collection, and this is in the color Energizer. So I went ahead and applied that off camera, but I feel like that matches my nails. And you guys know I've been into more like red, bright lips. I know that this makeup look might be a little bit out there, but I wanted to do something different than what I have been doing on my channel. But yeah, so I was watching another YouTuber. Her name is Jills, and in that video, she was talking about how at the end of the year, like going into the new year, she will pick out a word for the year, kind of to go along with like her resolutions, or maybe like a goal that she wants to accomplish that year. So for me, my word that I am going to focus on in 2024 is contentment. I'm the type of person that I do always want to improve and get better, but I also need to learn how to be a little bit more content in my life and not be pushing myself all the time so hard. I mean, it's like you want to always be improving and getting better, but there's a fine line between it kind of turning into the grass is always greener on the other side mentality, than to just be grateful for what you currently have in your life and all the blessings that you have. So that is my goal for 2024. Even above all these resolutions that I have, is to just learn to be content. And if I'm able to accomplish these other things, great, because I think it would help to add into my contentment. So you'll have to let me know in the comments maybe what some of your New Year's resolutions are, or if you do this where you select a word for the year that you kind of focus on. If you did enjoy this and you stay till the end, you are one of my ride or dies. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye. Mwah.
Shouldn't doubt yourself, 'cause you're a work of art. You should know that you are perfect with those